Welcome to the Raw Review here on Sean's View. Make sure to like this video, subscribe, where it's always prolific, consistent, and dedicated. Kicks off with Bryan, just one night removed from winning the WWE World Heavyweight Championship in one of the greatest WrestleMania moments and memories of all time. But it would be cut short. The celebration would be cut short because Triple H would come out and he would place himself in a match later on tonight with the WWE World Heavyweight Championship at stake. WrestleMania number 2 replay tonight on Raw. Should be exciting. So this was a pretty good segment to kick off the show. Set the tone for the rest of the night, as I like to say. In the first match of the night, it was the Wyatt family who went against John Cena, Big E, and Sheamus. The Wyatt family completely buried Cena and Sheamus and Big E. They took that shovel out. Cena jobbed to the Wyatt family. Do you realize how ridiculous that sounds? This was a good match. The crowd was intense, but there was no denying the Wyatt family. The Wyatts were on top of their game, and not even John Cena could control that tonight, ladies and gentlemen. And I might be the biggest John Cena fan, but I am one to call an ace an ace. I am one to call a spade a spade. The Wyatt family defeated John Cena, Big E, and Sheamus, and you know what? They didn't really stand a chance against the Wyatt family tonight because the Wyatt family was united they stand, divided they fall in their demonic of ways. And this was a pretty good match. I'm not going to come on here and I'm not going to be one of those people that says, oh, bury this and jobber this. And you got to look up your dictionary words, and you got to realize what professional wrestling is all about. And it's not just about wins and losses. It's about the story that is told in that ring. But I know a lot of people don't realize what that's like because you don't understand the company, you don't understand the product, and you don't understand the business. You don't understand the logic. You don't understand this, and you sure as hell don't understand that. Up next, it would be Emma and Santino against Summer Rae and Fandango. And once again, the Fandango evolution is starting again, just like it was last year, WrestleMania, the night after WrestleMania. Nothing big to report on here as Summer Rae and Fandango once again lost. How many times have we seen this match? And then the streak was addressed by Brock Lesnar and Paul Heyman. And may I say that this was one hell of a promo by Paul Heyman. He set all the doubters and all the critics and all the haters straight. You know what? We may not like it. We may not like the way that WrestleMania 30 ended with the Undertaker streak coming to an end. But Paul Heyman had his way on the mic. He had his way with the audience. He had the fans in the palm of his damn hand. And whether we like it or not, Paul Heyman told it like he was. The Conqueror Brock Lesnar did what no other man could do, and that is break the streak. This was one hell of a brilliant promo by a brilliant man in Paul Heyman. A segment, a mic work promo that I would say was 4 out of 5 stars. And we go up next to a little mini Evolution reunion with Randy Orton and Batista going against the Usos with the WWE Tag Team Championships on the damn line. And up next, the WWE Tag Team Championships will be on the line. As I said, Randy Orton, Batista versus the Usos. This really wasn't much of a match as much as it was domination and proving a point, put an exclamation point that Randy Orton and Batista want to be put back into the WWE World Heavyweight Championship picture. And they soundly pretty much beat the living daylights out of the Usos. Even Batista hit a Batista bomb on the steel steps to one of the Usos. And Orton and Batista were standing tall. This match ends in a double countout, but they weren't looking to win titles. They were just looking to destroy Orton and Batista did. Up next, Rob Van Dam returned to the WWE and defeated Damian Sandow soundly, not even really breaking a sweat. Good to see Rob Van Dam back in the WWE with a 5-star frog splash in a match that wasn't 5 stars, but I'd give it 3 stars just because it was alright, not enough time given, but I give it that much just because it was nice to see Rob Van Dam back in the WWE, so that puts it up a number. And if you don't like that, oh well, as Batista would say, deal with it. No, I really value your opinions and your comments. Come on, you're going to tell me that you didn't want to see Rob Van Dam return? Give me a break, give me a break, give me a piece of that Kit Kat bar. Just kidding. And up next, I'm afraid I've got some bad news for you. Bad news, Barrett would make his in-ring return against Rey Mysterio. And Rey Mysterio ran into some bad news tonight because just as Rey Mysterio thought he was going to get the victory, a little 619 West Coast pop was not to be because Bad News Barrett was going to be the man that put down Rey Mysterio. And that's exactly what he did with a great reaction from the crowd, may I add. Barrett gets the victory over Rey Mysterio tonight. Hard-fought effort, but Wade Barrett, once again, just like a lot of others tonight on Raw, would not be denied. Now, the next match, we can use the term and the word jobber, or burial, or well, we have to make someone look good here. Zack Ryder would get completely destroyed by the debut of Alexander Rusev. I don't want to say that wrong because he may put me in that maneuver that he did to Zack Ryder. Now, did you see John Cena do that thing to Wade Barrett at WrestleMania? Did he get jobbed out? Did he get buried? No. This was what you call a jobber match. This is the explanation of what... This is what exemplifies, a jobber, a burial. But this isn't really a burial. This is just to get Alexander over, to show that he is a legitimate tough guy, a man to be reckoned with. Now, I know that here on Sean's Entertainment, we talk wrestling. We give rumors, news, and gossip. But you also got to understand, I'm here to teach you a lesson on how professional wrestling works. What we saw at WrestleMania with John Cena and Bray Wyatt was not a jobber or burial marathon. It was a match that told a story. And tonight, Alexander Rusev told a story on how to beat Zack Ryder. That's exactly what I saw, and that's exactly what happened. It's sorry that it had to happen to Zack Ryder. Couldn't have happened to a better guy or a nicer guy, correct? Now, up to this point, Raw was pretty decent. Not boring, not a mediocre. It was decent. But what really picked it up was when AJ Lee would come out and she would talk a bunch of trash and, she would, make herself sound like she was the best and better than all the rest. And she would hype up her Divas run and how nobody can beat her and how she's untouchable until Paige from NXT. Paige would come out, and here's where things really started getting juicy. Paige with a little belly button piercing prances down to the little ring, and she challenges. First of all, she came down to congratulate AJ Lee of her moment of dominance in the Divas division, and then AJ Lee disrespects Paige by smacking her in the face, and then she challenged her to a match. What a mistake this was, because when an opportunity came, boy, did she take the best of this opportunity, and did she roll with it, because Paige would defeat AJ Lee with the Paige Turner, the new Divas champion of WWE. Paige, this was a Raw moment. You could almost feel it. You could almost see the wheels turning. You could almost see that happening. But to actually see it happen, before your very eyes, Paige is definitely deserving of a Divas championship. But then, ladies and gentlemen, it even got better from there, because Cesaro would be in the ring with Hulk Hogan, presented the Andre the Giant Memorial Battle Royal Trophy. And he would dump, Cesaro would dump Zeb Coulter, and he says he's no longer a Zeb Coulter guy. We're putting Zeb Coulter off to the side, and then all of a sudden, Cesaro, he ain't a Zeb Coulter guy. He's a Paul Heyman guy. Oh, I can see big things. I can see the future looking bright. I can see this is going to be epic. SummerSlam, here comes Cesaro, new WWE World Heavyweight Champion. You can see the writing on the wall. So now that Cesaro has aligned himself with Paul Heyman, Jack Swagger would come out and attack Cesaro from behind and even broke the trophy, smashed the Andre the Giant Memorial Trophy. Can you imagine that? Can you imagine the audacity? Can you imagine how Jack Swagger could disrespect Andre the Giant and the legacy that he left behind? But after that, Cesaro would get the upper hand and get the best of Jack Swagger. But it's good to know that Cesaro has aligned himself with Paul Heyman. Can you imagine the alliance? Can you imagine the allegiance? Can you imagine what Paul Heyman is going to do? Cesaro's stock just went up 110%. This is going to be a great partnership. Hey, Paul Heyman has to have another Paul Heyman guy because, well, Brock Lesnar, we all know, ain't going to be in the fold for right now. This is going to be pure excitement. This is going to be gold. And up next, the WWE World Heavyweight Championship would be on the line. Triple H against Daniel Bryan. Now, Triple H went in this with a thought process. He went in this with a plan. Take out Daniel Bryan, seek and destroy. He would have Batista and Randy Orton do his dirty work, and then Triple H was going to come down, pedigree 1, 2, 3, new WWE World Heavyweight Champion. But it quite didn't go that way because the Shield would come out and ensure that Daniel Bryan had his day in the sun, because it would be the Shield and Batista and Randy Orton and Kane. They would combust. It would be a hell of a damn fight. It was off the charts. It was intense. The match never got to really get underway because Daniel Bryan would hit that running knee on Triple H, and it would be the new era, so to speak, of the Shield and Daniel Bryan as Triple H, Batista, Randy Orton, Kane. They stood their ground, they went away, and Triple H said that this is a war that you cannot win. So the Shield turning face completely, I think we could call him now, turning the page, so to speak. I'd give this Raw 8.5 out of 10 stars and feel that is a deserving grade. Your comments and your opinions on what was definitely a good Raw after WrestleMania. Some moments that stand the test of time. Subscribe.